Hello everybody. Quickly, I've written down 3 negative similarities, again, between Orthodoxy and their establishment of the Trinity doctrine and a few other false dogmas, and the Watchtower and their establishment of some of their dubious dogmas. And this is just 3 quick similarities I'm going to go over that I've taken notes. The first similarity is that there are some rather absurd, illogical, and obscure beliefs that they think have been established through some special revelation beyond Scripture, or a special revelation of Scripture that might seem unreachable without a special revealing of some sort. Like the Watchtower are very proud of their dogmas that others don't embrace, and they think that they've gotten those because of the Spirit-directed governing body and Spirit-directed organization. And a lot of times I've heard Trinitarians say that it must be that this Trinity, because it isn't an explicit dogma, but one that is built with building blocks, that you have to be anointed before you can comprehend or understand it or embrace it. I've heard a lot of people say that I just must not be born again because I don't understand it. It has to come from a special revelation, and it certainly does. The Trinity dogma certainly does have its roots in Gnosticism. And so that would be why they have that behavior toward people who don't just readily accept it. A second similarity I notice is the Jehovah's Witnesses' blind faith and belief in the governing body. And the similarity in Orthodoxy is their faithfulness to the early church fathers despite shady history, questionable methods of interpretation, and defiance of Yeshua's plain and simple revelations. A lot of times the early church fathers would have beliefs as well as the governing body in times past, for the Jehovah's Witnesses would have certain beliefs that today would be deemed heretical and untrue and false. Yet the Jehovah's Witnesses and Traditionalists both do certainly feel a loyalty toward their historical dogmas and traditions, that faithfulness just should not be there. Instead, as did happen in the Reformation, things should continue to be questioned and perused so that the true revelation of Yeshua can be gained without all the clouds and the the questionable methods of interpretation that have been readily used by both the Watchtower and Traditionalists. A third similarity, the last one that I'll talk about right now, would be that some of these dogmas were established by the use of scare tactics, repetition, and intellectual intimidation. Your salvation is threatened, your stance with God, and all the things that are important to you as a Christian. You're told that those won't be possible for you if you do not embrace these questionable beliefs. And a repetition, again, is a big thing. It's used to cement malignant untruths, usually mixed with enough appealing, healthy truth to make it more palatable. Just like Jehovah's Witnesses attending Watchtower meetings in abundance, the more educated Trinitarians, especially the apologists, feed themselves on Orthodox dogma and the dubious reasoning behind it enough to be unduly influenced. And so due to that repetition and that intense study in their dogma instead of just the word alone, and we should not be reading it through the lens of a dogma. We should be just going in with pure eyes without any preconceptions. It becomes cemented and people become so proud in their imaginings. And thank you so much for listening.